but we were just too busy chatting away, guys. I'm sorry. Catching up with the and we're matchy today. So we're
I
in
love that.
our love. Yeah, I loved it. We're proper, like, yeah, we're looking like we've meant to do this. We didn't.
Yeah,
Oh, we
we
did that the other night too, though. We both came in the blue,
did.
didn't we? We
Yes,
were
I think
both
so.
in, yeah, we did. So, yeah, good minds think alike, guys. So, you're in for a treat this morning, tonight, because what we're talking about today is us. But we're talking about our story, where we've come from, who we were before, why we started to transform, and then why we've now chosen, or not chosen, why we've ended up coaching the women that we do. And just to give you guys sort of the hope, inspiration, and know that you can do it. So it's possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but as usual, guys, let us know that you're here in the comments. We want to know who's watching. That's from over all profiles. But how are you, Ez? How are you this morning?
Well, it's actually nighttime here
Let's
for
see.
me.
How are
And
you
I'm
today?
really good, actually. I'm really, really good. We're away on a little short holiday. So hence the different
Good.
background, the different lighting. I don't have my usual setup, but that's fine. I'm here. I
Mm.
showed up. That's all that matters. So
You
how are
did.
you?
I'm really, really good actually. As I say, I was through a little bit of a slump there over Christmas. It's just a natural meh, not with
Mm.
you guys and things, but just that. So I'm out of that now, and I'm back to jumping out of bed. I'm back to seizing the day and being me. So yeah, so I'm back to being
It's
me.
really, really
Watch out.
nice to see that, actually. It's really nice.
Yeah, I missed myself, you know.
Yeah.
No, but
But
it
it's
does
so
show you.
totally normal to go through those motions
Yeah.
at times too.
Yeah, and it sort of shows everyone that it is normal and it is okay for you to feel a little bit low and things, but you do come out of it. But yeah, you
Mm.
guys really helped me as well, so I'm glad. So, like I say, just watch out. The crazy Nikki is back to kick your butts.
Yay!
Yeah. Anyway, guys, so we're just going to get into it. But like I say, remember and just say to us you're here. And if you're watching it later, we'd really appreciate it if you said hashtag replay. Or if you had any questions for us, just pop it in there. Or if you have any questions for us now for when we're talking about this, just ask there if you've got any questions about our sort of past, where we came from,
Mm.
or how we've done it for our transformations. If you want to ask anything, just do it and we'll answer you like truthfully and honestly as we can. So hello guys coming in. I can't see who's joining, but hello, hello, hello. Right. So
And
oh,
also too, if
mm-hmm.
anyone hasn't done it before, up above you will see a link to click on restream, and that will actually show us
Yeah.
commenting so that we know who's coming in, and we can actually say hi personally.
I will try and bring it up in the group, but sometimes I can scroll for so long to find it in the group because there's so many women commenting, which is great.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. Here we are. I've got it. So we have Tina and Amy. Hi, Ames. How you doing? I've not seen you for a while. How are you? Hi, Kay and Jen. Lovegrove as usual. Hello, hello. And anyone else coming in, we'll say hello to you. But right, let's just get started because this is a good thing to do because what it does is it shows you because when people see me and Ez, they just see us as what we are now. And they're like, oh, look at them, you know, they're so healthy, they're so fit, they've got everything together, you know, that'll never be me, but it will, you know, it
Yeah.
will. We've been majorly stuck before, hated our lives and that. So, what were you, or not what were you, who was Ez before the BBA?
It's kind of hard to think back to that person because
Mm,
one, it's kind of like not opening up old wounds, but just
yeah.
remembering the damage
Mm,
that I felt internally and externally about
mm,
who I was as a person, as a mum, as a partner, as a friend.
mm,
Me, before I found the BBA, I was just so lost. I, had two kids, and, my role as mum and that mum guilt kind of just took over.
mm,
And I felt like that was just my life now. I
yeah.
wasn't allowed to be me because then
Mm,
I was worried that I would be judged
yeah.
for making myself a priority.
Mm,
I was worried that I was going to be judged for having fun. And,
mm,
that also then created me to be very serious all the time and not be able to sort of have a joke or have a laugh and let my hair down a bit. I was obviously very overweight.
Yeah.
And I had such a long list of mental health issues that really just it created like a very big wedge between me and my partner because, you know, obviously when you're in a relationship and one person is just really, really struggling mentally, it's very hard to support someone and be there all the time when I had this mindset of this is just it. I can't be fixed. This is me. Nothing will ever change. And that's what it is. It's a mindset really, you know.
Of course. And then it would have been hard for Drew as well, I'd imagine, because he would have maybe thought that a lot of what he was doing was his fault, whereas he can't change it, whereas it's not. It's how we hate ourselves, it projects out onto others. So we're really hating on ourselves, but then and then others around us have to really put up with that, and then they start to blame themselves. Yeah, and you have kids that have got a lot of extra needs as well, haven't you? Extra support. So you have
so
that.
Chase is autistic ADHD, so that also was very time consuming. It still is time consuming, but I guess as a parent that was going through their own struggles, it was really, really hard to support him in the right ways. You know, he has quite a lot of like major meltdowns, emotional meltdowns, and when you're not emotionally there yourself, and I know there's so many parents out there that would really understand this. You would understand this as well, that the way you react to your children when you're in a bad mood or you've had a really busy day and you're tired, it's not ideal. We're still human, it's still going to happen. But
very
when
reactive, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're really in that mindset every day of just being totally stuck, then you have all these spiral emotions of the mum guilt and am I doing a good enough job? Am I damaging them? You know, and then it's a downward spiral from there, really.
Yeah, and it's always a case of like it's a why me, or it's like you're just waiting for that negativity to happen. So it's like you're looking for things, and then as soon as something small happens, like I say, it's just a very reactive situation that we're in. Is that we're not taking the time to respond? It's just we're reacting. It's just a vicious cycle after that.
Yeah. And I find too, you know, we always talk about, you know, who you surround yourself with is so vital to your transformation and a happy life. And I was actually back then the person that was creating this negative, you know, atmosphere in my home, and my kids were taking it on, my partner was taking that on, and, you know, the people around me were taking that on. And I found that people didn't want to be around me because I was so negative and down in the
It's
dumps.
sort of the victim mindset, right? And it's always like the why me mindset. So we are taking all that on, but thinking that we are the victims, whereas actually we're making everyone around us the victims of our own self-hatred, our own self-sabotage. So when we realize that, then that guilt comes in, because it's the same for me back then. I'm like, oh God, what was I doing? You know? Yeah.
So what were you like before, you know, like you started your journey?
I was always like the overweight kid, and polycystic ovaries had set in after I gave birth to my son, so really massively overweight. But even I had quite it was a non-abusive childhood upbringing, but it was quite a difficult one emotionally. So I was having to deal with all that. So I was looking for validation really out in the world as well. So I found a lot of that through drink, through, I say drugs, it wasn't, you know, hard drugs. It was more like trying to fit in places and overeating and just trying to fit in places. But I kind of did go off the rails a little bit. But the polycystic ovary side of things, really bad acne, thinning hair growth where I didn't want it, just overweight. So I began to hate myself. I was really, really big. The bigger I got, the more I hated myself. But then I thought, I'll just keep getting bigger because no one cares. No one's going to love me. I hate myself. You know, I lived like that for 35 years. I was really quite toxic, but only because I hated myself. So how I am at the moment is complete opposite.
You know, when we're like that,
Mm.
people don't want to be around us, but on the other side of that too, we isolate ourselves
Yep.
from being confronted with who we are as a person internally and
Yeah.
externally. So you kind of hide away from the truth.
Yeah.
And
We do.
it doesn't happen to slap you in the face
Mm.
really until, it just takes one thing
Mm.
to change and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, how did I let things get so bad?
Absolutely. It's like it's always about what we say to you guys and to everyone else. It's about choosing your hard. It's like it's hard living like that. And it's really hard. But when you're living like that, you actually think that it's hard to change to better your life. But
Mm,
it's actually it's not. It's once you're doing it and changing your lifestyle, you realize just what you've been doing to yourself and the future that you can now create for yourself. So choosing
mm,
your hard, but it's choosing the hard that's going to make you a better person and love yourself. Because there's nothing
mm.
wrong with loving yourself. It's not vain, it's not conceited to love yourself. There's a different kind of self-love than arrogance, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, yeah, so that's who I yeah, 35, really bad. I was eating pizza. I'm not even joking, guys. I would eat a pizza because I'm a really weirdo with food. I'll eat the same thing for months and months and months and then I'll change. So I'd eat a pizza every single night. I'd probably have about 2 bottles of wine every single night, but just to mask how shit I felt. Even the
Mm,
kids in the supermarket one day were like, "Oh, mum, are you buying wine again?" And I actually stopped and thought about that. And I was like, "Oh, shit, okay." But I kept on drinking. I
yeah,
wasn't ready to make that
yeah,
change quite yet because I was still in the belief that I couldn't do it.
yeah.
And that's never going to happen for me. And yeah, so you see all these things online and then about quick fixes. Yeah, I tried them all. The
I was
starvation.
going to just
Get,
ask,
mm,
like, had you tried, a lot of things in the
yeah.
past?
Yeah, just I can't really remember now, but it was sticking to them for me that was the problem. I just thought I'd try it for a week and I'm like, oh, this isn't working. And then, I would stop doing it and I would try maybe harsh diets. I would exercise for the day and then I thought, oh, that's not worked. I just won't do it.
Mm,
It's
mm,
just it was the mindset though, because I'd never really believed that I could change
yeah,
until I did. Until once you start doing something, your brain is a powerful tool.
mm,
Once you start believing and manifesting in things, there's actually studies out there to show, oh, I love my studies, that the manifesting and self belief is like a muscle. The more you do it and grow it, the bigger it becomes. I'll need to find it. I just seen it
easier it
yesterday. It was yesterday. I just seen that, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. So it's like a
becomes.
muscle. Work on it,
Mm,
guys. So anyway, right, what did you do to then change? Because obviously we've both got different stories in a way, but we were both very stuck. So
mm.
what was it that actually did it for you? Because there's always this pinnacle, there's always this cliff. It's that one thing that has made you guys change because you think, fuck it, I need to change my life or I'm going to die. mm,
Well, for me, it wasn't anything really that drastic. It
mm,
was we were in major lockdowns here in Australia. I
mm,
had so much time on my hands and I had time to actually really look at myself in the mirror and I had time to
mm,
really sit in my emotions every
mm,
day. And that was obviously like heightened by having the kids at home as well.
mm,
Life was just crazy. And obviously Jace being my cousin, I'd seen him post quite a lot of before and after photos of the women that were in the academy.
yeah,
And it's funny how I'd seen so many and I just scrolled past them. I'd glance at them and then just keep flicking through because it
yeah.
just wasn't, I
Can I
wasn't
just
ready.
ask something quickly though there? Because I've had someone or some people in the last few weeks saying that transformation pictures are triggering. Can I just ask for you, did you find them triggering to you because you hadn't done anything?
It was confronting in the
Mm,
way of, and I guess this is where distrust comes from trying so many different other things that didn't
mm,
work and
exactly.
having people promise you that you're gonna lose all this weight and you're gonna change your life and yeah,
Mm,
maybe do in the beginning, but then the support is just not there. to actually sustain it. You know, I've done boot camps that are just exercise focused. I've done meal plans that are just nutrition focused, but it was never, it was just, I've done the diet pills and I lost a lot of weight, not eating. And, you know, it was just terrible. But seeing before and after pictures, I was like, oh, what are they doing that I'm not? There must be some secret. There must be some trick, or and they must be working really, really hard to achieve these results. And then it was actually Michelle, who's in the academy still. And I saw her before and after photos, and it just was something that just clicked. And I went, what's the worst that I've got to lose? I've already done so many different things that didn't work. I've got so much time on my hands right now. And I had that level of trust in Jace being my cousin. I'm like, I had that level of trust. So when, you know, I talk to women and they don't fully trust, I understand that, because I would have probably been the same if I didn't have that family tie to him.
So they're like, you're saying I'm going to lose all this weight, whereas they've been told that so many times, and they're like, you know what, I don't really believe you, but
Yeah. And it was just these Michelle's before and after photos that I just went, you know what, I have nothing to lose. And I'd spoken to my partner and I said, look, I really want to try this. I really want to give it my all. I'm probably going to do it for a month or two and then give up anyway. So, you know, and I wasn't
working. Look what's happened.
I know. I wasn't working at the time. So I was like, you know, can you pay for it for me? Is that okay? And he has always been super, super supportive. And he was like, just do what you need to do to make yourself feel better. And look now.
Amazing. But I also just want to go back to what you were saying about Michelle as well, just for everyone that's listening. So you never know who you ladies who are listening to this today, you never know who you are inspiring to change their life. There's people that might see you who don't know you, but they'll see the journey that you're on, and you are inspiring them to how you're keeping on going.
Who Michelle was.
Exactly. So just like for Michelle, when she says that she's feeling maybe a little bit lost just now, it's going back to that and just knowing that you're doing it for yourself, but you're showing people that it can be done on a long-term basis, and you are inspiring other women and other people to do it. So this is what, hold it in your heart that you know that you're changing other people's lives. That's one of the best bits about this.
Yeah. So what was it that made you change? What flicked the switch for you?
I've talked about this quite often as well, so you guys might know and you might not. Believe it or not, it wasn't about how much I hated myself. It wasn't about how fat I was. It wasn't about my polycystic ovaries. It was about being told from a guy that I did not like, shall we say, and we didn't get on. It was someone, it was a neighbour of somebody, and I won't say the word because I hate it. He called me a fat. I'll see you next Tuesday. So I got called that, and I'm like, hell no. No, I'm gonna show you. So it's like when you're told that you are something or you can't do something, what that does to your sort of your drive and your what's the word for it? You just want to go and do it. Yeah, that's what set my wheels in motion. And look at me now. So you know what? I did get called a fat. I'll see you next Tuesday. But you know what? I'll happily go and buy him a nice big present now, because I'm like, yes, you've changed my friggin' life.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you. And that'll probably make things worse for him. Because he thought he was actually affecting me and bullying me. But oh no, you have changed my life.
Your life forever.
But that was just sort of the fact that got me. I was always ready to do it, but it was always just something holding me back. I didn't believe, it's going to be too hard. I can't do it. But it just took that one thing to give me that little push off that cliff that I needed for that motivation. And I kept going. When I started seeing results, I'm like, oh, I can do this. So it's that self-belief. Like I said to you guys, it's a muscle. It grows. So the more self-belief that you have, it grows and grows and grows until now I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I can do anything I put my mind to. And it actually does work. It's great. So that's it's a good, easy story for mine. That's what happened to me. And that was 6 years ago now, and I haven't stopped since. So yeah.
I think having the right support and the right tools in front of you and keeping it super simple is really important as well. There is so much out there that you can research or Google or whatever it may be, someone can tell you. And it's really confusing. I remember like when I first, before BBA, like I had someone give me a meal plan and try and explain like macros and calories and this and that. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
But it's
no
when
idea
someone's telling you that what you're doing is either wrong, that's not going to work, what they're doing is right, or they've heard that this works, or like the neighbour down the road. But what I always tell people is, would you swap places with that person that's trying to tell you? So if the answer is yes, okay, you can maybe listen to them. They probably know what they're talking about. But if it's no, if they're still stuck and maybe just go to Slimming World and they're always yo-yo dieting and things, then no. Okay, they're just trying to get onto you that what they're doing works, maybe trying to make themselves feel better. But yeah, that's always one thing. Don't listen to people that you would never swap places with. Yeah. So how was your journey though? Because I think for me, when I first started changing, I was losing the weight. I was falling in love with exercise and learning all about food. So I went actually out and got qualified as a personal trainer at that point because I was loving the effect I was having not only on myself, I was finding that people were coming up to me even before I was qualified and wanting my help. So I was like, all right, okay, maybe I can actually do this. So yeah. So I went and got my PT qualifications. I got a little qualification in nutrition, so I could do that as well. And yeah, the rest is kind of history. And I've been a BBA coach now for near on 2 years, and that's just BBA. Mental, right? 2 years, 2 friggin' years. It's crazy. So what about, I know I love it. You guys, you'll never get rid of me from the BBA. I'm sorry. It's in my blood.
I know. It's like that, isn't it?
Yeah. It's in my blood. So what about you though, is what sort of things were you doing? And then we'll go on to why we're now helping the women that we're helping, because when in the BBA, you guys will know in the BBA, because we're talking to quite a lot of people this morning, that we've actually all got our own little niches. We all help in our own little ways. So I help obviously polycystic ovaries and hormones, and just me being with me, and you help a sort of certain niche as well. So who is it you've sort of started to help?
So people exactly like me, women like me that have kids that have just completely lost themselves along the way. You know, people my age or even older or a bit younger, you know, it doesn't really sort of matter. It's just mums that have completely lost themselves and just don't know what next.
Okay, can you explain a little bit how that mum will be feeling at the moment?
Probably looking at me thinking, what a load of crap. And I understand that because I was there as well. I would look at other women that were holding it together, I guess, and I would think I would have so much like I guess I was very envious of other people that just
I
were
was
doing
just going to say jealous, but
that I really wanted to do, but I just didn't know how to do it. You know, and you get in that mindset of, well, this is just it. I don't know what they're doing, so I'm just going to continue to do this. And it's not like that thought every day. It's like most days you kind of just forget about how you actually feel, and then something will happen. Something will, you know, you'll go to the shop and you'll try on clothing, and that will be something that triggers that initial, oh my goodness, like things have gotten so out of hand. And
what emotions will this woman be feeling at the moment? But what's coming to my mind is what the mum that you're describing would maybe be feeling a little bit like a robot, and a little bit of maybe out of body experience, that they're not living their own lives, they're living their life for somebody else. So, but what emotions as well will that woman that you're helping, because you've felt it, you've been there, what emotions will she be feeling right now? Just so we can know that we can connect to you guys. Spooky.
Yeah. I reckon probably feeling completely stuck, lost. you know, probably a bit of depression, stress, anxiety. I think those emotions are pretty common, I think, for a lot of mums in general. But
Yeah.
when you add on the extra weight and then the mental health issues, they just escalate into these big dark demons that are just so hard to get rid of.
Yeah, and it's not only about your own body as well. As a bit of a personal question for you now, how is your relationship with your partner? Obviously,
It
don't have
is
to go
so
into nitty
much
gritty.
Yeah,
but
I'm
yeah,
actually okay with talking about that, like, no details or anything, but that obviously took a massive hit as well
yeah.
because the confidence inside myself,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't even wanna take my own clothes off and look at myself. I would take my clothes off to get in the shower and I'd be like, "Yuck,
Yeah.
look at
So if we hate
like
ourselves
this."
that much when we're on our own, could you imagine taking your clothes off when you're with the person you love and the person that loves
You wanna
you?
look your best for them and have them look at you and feel
Mm-hmm.
attraction and love and think, "Oh my goodness, like, you
Yeah.
are absolutely drop dead gorgeous," but then because you
Yeah.
can't see that yourself,
Mm.
there's no way that you're gonna think that somebody else will feel that way about you.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I say, guys or people watching this, it's not just about I want to lose 30 pounds. I tell this to my guys all the time when we're doing our huddles and that. Why do you want to lose 30 pounds? Go and go deeper on that because you
Mm,
want better health. You want your kids to be looking up to you. You obviously want to be fitting into nice clothes, or you want to get back a little bit of your youth, or you want to improve your mental health. It's not just about losing 30 pounds, or you want to improve your
mm.
relationship with your partner, you want to have sex with the lights on. It's all these little things that people are like, but it's real. We're women. We've got to
I
show our
think, what some people don't realize as well is, you know, initially with my journey, I signed up to lose weight. I
Mm,
didn't think that I needed anything else.
exactly. We're
I
stubborn,
lost
right?
a heap of weight really quickly,
Mm,
and I started to feel good because I
mm-hmm.
was fitting into nice clothes and,
Yep.
you know, externally I just felt better,
Mm-hmm.
but it was not the only thing. And I learnt that
No.
very quickly that
Mm-hmm.
still didn't love myself internally. Um,
Exactly. And it's about dancing as well. I mean, I had a message from one of my ladies the other day. She is a little bit older, no kids and things, but she messaged me saying something weird has just happened and it's never happens to me. She was dancing about in her house on her own because she was happy at night. And she was like, she just had to tell me because she felt amazing that she was dancing about. This is how good that you're going to feel. It's
yeah.
awesome. That dance, dance like no one's watching, basically.
Mm.
I love
Yeah, and
that
I
saying.
think,
Yeah.
that repetitive, script that you feed yourself for so
Mhm.
many years, I'm not worthy, no one's gonna love me, no one's gonna look at me like I'm
Yeah.
beautiful or I'm, you
Mhm.
know, sexy, and I'm just mum
Mhm.
now. I'm gonna just have the mum tum forever, the
Mhm.
saggy skin, and,
Mhm.
you know, I'm just gonna wear mum clothes, the big
Yeah.
baggy clothes, and that's
Mhm.
just me now. I'm just gonna forever snack
Confidence
on my
is a big
kids.
thing. Confidence is
Yeah.
huge. If you exude confidence, even if you're not in a place yet for where you've lost weight, people are attracted to your personality, your aura, the confidence. Just think about two people in a room, a really gorgeous person, but with no personality, so average person with a banging personality, and you feel it, you're drawn every single time to that
Mm.
person. So this is what
Yeah,
it's like in the real world, guys. This is what we're trying to get you guys to do. So, and just sort of just quickly as well, for the people that I help, is I have reversed my polycystic ovaries. I know how to do it. Hormones are my jam. I love learning and knowing about hormones. So yeah, ask me anything. But this is what I do now: is I help women with polycystic ovaries finally beat it and take back their lives, because it can be done. You can't cure it, because I've had a lot of people say, oh, you can't cure it, right? I know you can't cure it because I've got it. But you can reverse your symptoms and live symptom free, like I have for 6 years.
mm.
So yeah, so that's who I
And I
now
think
help. So
that's really important too as well that, you know, there's times where I have things that I have signed up to as well, and,
mm-hmm.
you know, you look up to the person, you know, say
Yeah.
during the camp or the program, whatever it may be, you look up to that person and you think, do you actually understand how I really feel? I don't
Exactly.
think you do. I don't think you actually understand
Mm-hmm.
the level of pain, the depth
Mm-hmm.
of like the binge eating, you know, the stress and
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah,
that's
we've
what
not learned from textbooks, guys. We have learned everything that we are doing
life
through
lessons.
personal life, personal experiences. We're qualified. That matters. We've learned
Yeah.
stuff from a book, but what we do is we now apply that to our own methods from real life experiences to be able to help you all, because I think that's actually more important than what's in a textbook.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And all we teach is what we do.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not a case
That's
of
how
monkey see,
simple it is.
monkey do, but it does
But
work.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it
Mhm.
obviously works, you know,
Mhm.
we keep it simple because there's no
Mhm.
need to complicate things. And, you know,
Yep.
I think when you see someone doing it themselves,
Mm.
that level of trust there as well is, you know, we're not
Yeah.
trying to teach people to do something that we wouldn't do
Oh,
ourselves. It's not
no.
like, "Oh, you go do that and I'm gonna do this. That
Yeah.
will work for you, but I'm
Mhm.
not gonna do that." No, we don't do that. We
No.
do. We
In the
teach,
case
yeah.
is you can maybe do it yourself as well, but guys, you got to think it's going to take a lot longer. So when you have
Mm,
someone telling you what works, proven, and we are there to help you and do it, then it's going to
mm,
be a shorter time frame. This is what I'm trying to be telling people on my lives on TikTok at the moment. It's like within a year to 6 months to a year, your life will be changed. It sounds
mm,
like a long time, right? You're thinking, oh God, it's going to take me a year. But this is why we're into this instant reality. We want it now. But a year out of your life, say, to completely like reverse your polycystic ovaries, get your menstrual cycle back, be able to get pregnant, all of that. What is a year out of your life if you're stuck now and then you were just going to wait to spend the rest of your life stuck like that? So a year
mm,
to spend the rest of your life being happy, not depressed, loving the way you are, having a body that's actually working for you. A year is nothing. So look at
mm.
it like that.
Yeah, it's choosing your
Mm.
hard, isn't it?
Choose
Is
your
it gonna be
heart.
hard to live like that for the rest of your life,
Mhm.
or is it gonna be hard to put in a little bit of extra effort and
Yep.
determination and a bit of motivation for the next 12
Mhm.
months? I think I definitely looking back now,
Mhm.
I would I wish I had found BBA before I did.
Exactly. It's when you realize there's so many of the people that come in, I just say about how do you feel coming into the BBA, and they're like, I wish I joined sooner. Get it all the time, but I get it,
Yeah.
guys, and everyone will get it watching. You're frightened to spend money on yourself because you've spent money on yourself so much before, and it's either not worked or you've put the weight back on because you've not been able to keep it off. So we get it. We've been there,
Mm,
but what we're doing is teaching you how to do this for the rest of your life. And we
yeah.
also just wanted to come on and express, because there's been so many new women come to the BBA as well. So we wanted to show you guys where we've come from, where we were, but who we are
Mhm.
now as coaches. So you know who you can contact as coaches as well, because we love helping. We
Yeah.
absolutely do. Yeah. So any final words for the ladies or anything else that you want to express? Or guys, we can stay here for a couple of minutes. So if you want to pop down questions, feel free and we'll happily answer your questions within the next couple of minutes. But I can't see who it is. Facebook user. So much more trust in someone who has first-hand experiences in these places. That's honestly, it's not to say that someone who hasn't got these experiences can't help you. Because
No, not
that's like
at all.
maybe, yeah, that's like saying a doctor who helps you with cancer, is not qualified to help
Mm,
you with cancer because they've learned all about it. But what we are
yeah.
saying is it's more about the internal aspect of this, and we understand exactly, especially with me with the polycystic ovaries. I understand exactly how you feel. It's not just
Yeah.
about knowing about it, it's how
Yeah.
you feel and be validated. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so have you got anything else to say? Or and honestly, guys, ask any questions. But thanks for giving up your time today, someone said. But you're welcome.
Yeah, I think it's just really important to understand that, you know, like
Mm,
we're always here to help, and that's
yeah.
the ultimate goal at the end of the day. We just want to help more women find themselves again and live their best life, because
Mhm.
when you come from a place of being so stuck and
Mhm.
lost, and then you find that doorway that just opens your life up to so many new experiences and completely change your life, you know that it can be done, and it's really
Yeah.
hard to get through to people that are still stuck. But
Mm.
I think this was actually a really good live for us to do, for people to
Yeah,
understand that there's still real people behind, the posts and the
absolutely.
reels. There's
Mhm.
real people here
Mhm.
that have had experiences
Mhm.
and come out on the other end. And it's not
Mhm.
to say we still don't have tough times, but we've got the tools there to
Mhm.
move through the motions of life much, much easier.
We do. Jace always says, "This too shall pass." This is what he says to me all the time if I'm going through a hard time. But this is why me and Ez, and we're so open on our posts that we don't really hold anything back. I mean, if I'm having a really shitty day and feeling horrible, I'll write a post about it. It's not to like people say, "Oh, how are you feeling?" It's to show people that it is normal. Everyone that says that their life is perfect and they feel great all the time, they're just showing you the highlight reels. But for people like ourselves and the coaches in the academy, we show you what's real. Because
Yeah.
when you do feel shit, then you start to feel, oh, it's not normal. I'm not allowed to feel shit. Or maybe, yeah, I've got to go and hide.
I don't want to bring anybody else down or put a
No,
dampener on anyone. Mm.
yeah. So this is why we show we're not doing it for the attention. Because you get a lot of people on that saying, "Oh, I feel shit," or "I'm in hospital," or something. PM me. I don't like them posts, but it's really to show you that we're normal. We have down days. We've got really big up days, and that is normal. We have hectic days as a mum. We'll have days that we're really struggling, but it's okay to talk about them. It's
Yeah.
don't go and hide. So that is important, guys.
Having such a good support system
Mm,
around, there's so many women inside the group, including ourselves, that when we do have tough times, there's
mm-hmm.
so much support
Yeah,
around picking you back up, because there's always going to
yeah,
be times where you
yeah.
can't always pick yourself back up, and it's okay to
Mm-hmm.
reach out for help. And I think that's what's really important as well, is that support
Mm-hmm.
and having like-minded people around you that understand how
Yeah.
you feel and want to
Mm-hmm.
help, rather than go, well, I don't have time for that, I'm sorry. That
Mm.
has never been the case within the Women's Academy at all.
Oh, no. It's a
We
very
all
positive place. That's what I'm saying. I want you guys to know that when you feel like posting and you think, oh, this is actually a really negative post, don't worry about it. What we don't promote in the academy is the negativity, sort of like that bullying aspect or bringing people down. But your problems that you need help with, your vulnerabilities, that's not being negative. That's putting it
mm,
out there saying, I need help. And then you're getting the help from the women. That's what the community is all about. So you're always going to get that positivity and people wanting to help you back.
and being vulnerable is actually, I think, a really
Yeah.
good strength to have. I don't
It,
think that it's definitely a strength.
yeah. I mean, I love talking about, like, talking therapy is really good. So if you're able to get it out, even to in our success team, to the coaches, feel free, just to let stuff out there, and it feels cathartic. Getting stuff out there is actually releasing that negative energy. So yeah, keep
I've
going,
done
guys. But
notes.
what have you done?
I've done that to you with voice notes.
Yeah. But that's why, even if you're not getting to the other person to listen to them, it's just voice noting something out, and it's really, really good. It's like a personal diary. And it's so good. I can't recommend that enough. Awesome. But that was a really good one today. We just wanted to sort of hit home again about that we're not perfect, that we
Mm,
have been in a place where either you are, or you're thinking about changing, or you are changing. And it's just to show that it is possible, and that you guys can do it. Just keep going. So within a year, my life had changed that much. I was an unrecognizable person in body
mm,
and in mind. So that was within 1 year. 1 year. So just think about it. If you
yeah.
want to live until you're 80, that's another, what, like 40 years for me. Why would I live 40 years miserable and fat and ugly and horrible when I could just use 1 year of that, and I can live 39 years happy and, Use your head,
feel
guys. Good logic.
yeah.
Right, guys. So we could probably chat for ages as usual. I don't even know how long we've been on for this morning. We've went longer than we should have won. And never mind. We love chatting. So, right, guys, remember hashtag replay for this one. Feel free if you want, when you are watching it later on, you can ask me and Ez any questions that you want about either our journey or anything that you want to know about maybe for your journey or moving forward. And it's even on our own public profiles. Ask away, guys. We're always here to help. And if you do want to come and join the academy, you know where to go. You know whether hit up me or hit up Ez right here.
All right. Well, that was fun. I think this is a really good one to touch base on.
Yes, it really was. We were just wanting to show that we're real people. Even though you can just like touch us through the screen, but we're real people.
No, we're not virtual, I promise. We kind of are, but
dear. Right, I'm away to go live again. I'm away to go live on the good old TikTok. So helping the ladies with PCOS. I love that at the moment. So it's good. You know, I should be like on TV or something. I'm getting so used to doing all this.
You should. You're heading in the right direction for that.
Heading in the right direction. I'll be headhunted for channel whatever it is soon.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. That's not on my vision board. So no.
Well, maybe it should be.
Maybe it should be. No, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. It's all good. All good. Right, guys, we're away. Thanks for joining us today. And we will speak to you next week because we'll be back to our usual routines for Women on a Mission on a Thursday. So we'll see you then.